So lots of brands have their social media stars these days, and of course the question is what happens when these people leave the company. So how do you humanize your brand without relying too much on one single human being?
Well, there are several ways that we look at doing it at Oxford where I work, and like I said, different use cases are appropriate in different situations depending on the brand. So one type of humanization that we look at is basically giving the corporation more personality in of itself. So that really involves associating the brand with a more human quality that's not necessarily one single person. So the Dove campaign for beauty is a great example of this. They've chosen a very human element to associate their corporation with. Another example is that you can do internal crowdsourcing of your employees. So instead of relying on one employee, you rely on tons, like 12 Force does for Best Buy. Yet another example would be to create an avatar or logo that actually comes to life and lives and breathes with your brand and becomes the voice of your brand. And that's someone who never leaves your company. So all of those are ways to not rely on one single social media rock star who you're always at risk of leaving your company.
So who creates that content? In the example of having one avatar that represents your brand, who creates that content? How do you generate that on a consistent basis? Because that takes a lot of resources, if only just in terms of time and creative energy.
Definitely. So very skilled people. These are people who have both the social media savvy and use it personally enough to know what really will resonate there, because it's a completely different conversation style and writing style than any other traditional form of advertising. So it's basically using specialists who can learn the brand voice and having a pool of them who all know that brand voice so that they can write for it on an ongoing basis. And literally, for many brands, that means around the clock. You need someone who can write as the voice of the brand 24 hours a day. So it's really impossible to rely on one person to do that. So like I say, it's careful training, careful editing, and careful oversight and strategy from the